Okay, we do be back, and I know at the end of the last one I was like, hey, I'm not going to record it. I don't know why I'm saying any of this. You guys don't know the timing when I record these. But the end of the last one I was like, oh, I'm not going to record anymore tonight. I got other things to do. But I'm like, yeah, but you know, I just finished a huge video today. I think I deserve a reward. And I think that reward is more please be happy. That's always a good reward, in my opinion. So, with all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into it. And since she said this part at the end of the last one, I'm going to read it now. A whole day to ourselves, finally. This has been one of the busiest weeks of my life.
Mine too, but in a good way.
Aww.
Of course. The best way.
Aww. I'm so lonely. Alone with just each other in the library. Aspen slides her chair closer to mine so she can... Aspen slides her chair closer so she can kiss my cheek.
What do you want to do today? The world is our oyster.
Ooh.
Oysters. Want to get lunch?
We just finished breakfast.
It's never too early to start thinking about lunch.
Laughing, Aspen stands up and offers me her
Not ready
hand.
for that, but I could do with some fresh air. Care to join me for a walk?
Sure. I'll go anywhere you want.
Oh, stop it. I'm gonna die. This is killing me. Her hand squeezes mine as we step outside into the daylight. Everything feels different and new when I'm with Aspen now. Everything's as simple as walking down the hill from the library. Something I've done almost every day for months now feels more special with her next to me. Stop, that's so cute. I had been expecting falling in love to be harder or something I have to push myself to do. I've been surprised by how easy it is. Like a dam that had been holding back a river, since I let myself open up to the possibility of being in love, the rest has come naturally. Simply existing around her feels nice. I meant it when I said I'd go anywhere she wanted.
It's been a while since I've seen the ocean. How about a walk to the waterfront?
Sounds good. That's where the oysters are, after all.
Not quite what I was thinking, but close enough. Let's see if I can remember how to get there.
Oh, I know the way. Want me to lead?
By all means.
I take us towards Mount Victoria and the beach. Other people smile or nod or wave as we pass them by, sometimes with a word of greeting
Can't
too.
believe you've only been here a fraction of the time I have, but you already know your way around so much better than I do.
I used a lot of that time to learn. Besides, navigating is second nature for me. I can do it without trying.
I'm glad, because I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned, but I'm terrible with directions myself. It's a good thing you offered to lead, because I was about to take us in the other direction.
That would have been fun too. Would have been a surprise for both of us.
Yes, and for whatever poor person whose yard we wander into.
Don't worry. That's something else I'm good at. Not getting caught in people's yards.
Maybe I'd be better at it than
Aspen
not
laughs.
hunting, at least. Do you ever miss it? That life, I mean.
Nah.
She glances at me in
That was all so
surprise.
quick. You didn't even have to think about it.
I've thought about it a lot, actually. Almost all the time for a while. But even though there are things that I miss, there are too many things that I have now that I couldn't give up. Like this.
Oh, stop. I stop walking for a second so I can kiss her cheek like she did to me this morning.
You better not give that up. Still, you've got to avoid things like going to work or paying bills and all the other little things that most people wish they could run away from.
Well, Miho hasn't really had to deal with, like, bills or, like, I mean, I guess she still has to go to work. But it's mostly the bills part.
People like you?
Absolutely people like me. I first fell in love with reading because it was an escape from the real world. A distraction from being alone, or sad, or anything else. Even if I couldn't live an exciting life, at least I could experience one through someone else's eyes and words. In those stories, there were often characters who remind me of you. going wherever they please, doing whatever their hearts tell them to. Having wished so desperately to go from my normal, boring life to one of adventure, I would certainly understand if you ever wanted to go back to it.
I shake my
Not at all
head.
wrong. What you just said about going where I want or following my heart, I'm doing both of those things right now.
Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. We're not too far from. That's like 90% of my commentary. This one is just, oh, stop it, you guys. You're too cute. Stop. We're not too far from the water, but we're even closer to Mount Victoria. Looking up towards its
Do
top,
you
I have
mind
an
if we go up
idea.
the mountain a little bit? I want to show you something.
The mountain? I'm not exactly dressed for hiking, or built for it.
That's fine. It's not a hike. It's pretty easy to get to.
All right, well, I'm up for it. Lead the way. Again.
We take the regular trail up towards the top, but before we reach the summit, I lead us off the
This way.
path. I can see the curiosity on Aspen's face, but she doesn't question me. It'll be easier to just show her anyway. It's slower as a human than as a fox, but it doesn't take us too long to reach our destination.
Ta-da! Here we are.
And this is... where?
Home sweet home. Or at least it was.
My den is in even worse condition now than it was last time I came. I actually have to spend a moment looking for the exact spot. Once I find it, I move aside some of the brush that's built up over the
This is
heap of
my den.
mud.
I lived here until Juliet let me move into the library. I buried food that I stole in the ground to save it for later, so everything was at least a little dirty. And when it rained, my ceiling would turn into my floor. Still, it was one of the nicer dens I've made, if I do say so myself. And I've made a lot of dens. But now that I've had my own bed, pillows and stuff, it'd be hard to sleep in a hole in the ground again.
Looking around, Aspen nods. She picks up a branch that's fallen halfway into the
I do love
collapsed
what
burrow.
you've done with the place, though. Sitting on the floor, or not.
Well, if you ever need a break from your apartment...
We both laugh, and I hope that Aspen believes me. The same way that she feels about me, I feel about her. She paces around a little bit, exploring the area. Not that there's much to see. Eventually, she returns to my
Thank you for
side.
showing me all the same. Even if it's better, I know it can't be easy to just turn your life around 100%.
There are things I miss sometimes, but trust me, I like what I have now way more. If I didn't want to be with you, I wouldn't be. I'm really good at running away from things I don't like. I'm not going anywhere.
I have seen that for myself. It's true.
Exactly. So I mean everything I say to you. Everything.
Oh, stop. I don't mind at all, but standing here next to what used to be my den, it feels like a strange collision for my past and present. It's taken some getting used to, and there are still things that surprise me or that are tough to deal with in my everyday life. When I dug this hole, I never would have guessed it would be the last time. Before Aspen and before Wellington, I never had anything else to go back to. But being here and seeing what I did leave behind, I don't regret that life, but excuse me, I had a small burp. I'm so sorry, excuse me. I don't regret that life, but I don't miss it. Every day is better with Aspen in it, and Juliet as well. I just have to do my best to make sure that's true for them too. Judging by the way Aspen holds my hand as we go back down the mountain, and the way she laughs at all my dumb jokes, I feel like I'm doing an okay job so far. Aw, that was cute. As everything tends to be. Let's go to the Oriental Bay. Sure, why not? That is where we were going essentially anyways. Yeah, I'm just enjoying a nice walk on the beach when an intrusive thought makes itself known. Sand. How far does it go? Like, beaches always have a definitive cutoff where the sand stops and turns into dirt and streets. But What about down? How far down can you dig and still get sand? Or is there just dirt after a certain point? Wait, let's think about this logically. Sand must be a product of the ocean in some way since it's the sand must be a product of the ocean in some way since it's always right next to the ocean. So sand probably goes down as far as the ocean goes. Huh. But then where do deserts come from? Ugh, I think it's better if I don't think about this anymore. Oh, okay. We get two of them. I was actually a little going to talk about like all these other days. We're only getting one. I guess it's because it's Saturday. I guess I was like, I remember us getting two every other day, but it's probably because it's Saturday that we're getting two, and every other day we get one. That makes sense to me in my brain. Only a few days pass after I agreed to be in the play with Lena and Cyrus. It's time for the first rehearsal. Even though I'm not going to be as involved in it as they are, I still want to see what everything is like. I head to the park and find the area that's been set up to practice. When I get there, I find a bunch of people waiting more. I find a bunch of people waiting more than at any other of the other activities I've tried with Lena. I'm doing so bad at reading today. I'm so sorry. Most of them are reading through the thick packets of paper, standing alone or in small groups. Lena's one of the people on her own until I go and join her.
Ready to be a tree? As
Yeah,
ready as
huh?
I'll ever be. Me? Nervous?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
No way.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was resting my chin on my finger that I had on my mouse because I'm just like holding my mouse up next to my face, because it's comfortable. And then I accidentally like leaned a little bit too hard on it. As ready as I'll ever be. What about you? Are you nervous? Me? Nervous?
So that's
No
what
way.
happens when it comes to Cyrus, huh? Maybe just a little. That's different, though. Hey, you should go find him and get a copy of the script, too.
It's hard to locate Cyrus. He's surrounded by a few boxes of props and snacks and other supplies. Like Lena promised, or maybe threatened, he's been included in our check-in calls. Make sure he remembers me. He nods when he sees me
My
approaching.
favorite tree.
Oh, not me. Oh gosh, you know how to make a girl blush.
Lena said I should get a copy of the script.
That's a pretty good idea. Let me find yours.
He digs through a bunch of copies of the script until he finds one with my name on
I
it.
marked all the parts where you'll be on stage.
I flip through the pages. A few sections are circled in red pen. I'm glad he did that because it'd take me a long time to read through the whole thing on my
Feel free to
own.
Relax for today. We'll do some dry reads and not much else.
Okay, I can do that.
Dry reads. Does Cyrus have anything outside of that? Come on, guys, that's a little funny. I wander back to Lena, who's boldly speaking to no one.
Today is my birthday. It's not necessary to...
She stops, shaking her head.
Be a bit more whiny. Oh, Miho! Tell me which one you think sounds better.
She repeats the same line she was practicing twice, just like when she made a drink to compete with Aspen. I have a hard time telling the difference.
The second one. Okay, I thought so too. In ballet, you don't have to worry about talking or sounding good. This is harder than I thought. Have you done the ballet version before? Nah, but I've seen others perform it a million times. I'm sure I'd end up doing it someday if I'd stuck with ballet. Why'd you quit? I never really got the chance to ask before.
Lena looks off into the distance, seeming unusually serious. Her wings sag and she bites her lip.
It's kind of complicated. Mostly because my parents really wanted me to do it. Like, really wanted. Ballet or dancing or anything like that. But I'm just like, hello? Can you get any more cliche than a swan girl doing ballet? Or any of that stuff? It's one of the reasons I wasn't sure about saying yes to Cyrus. I don't get it. What's so bad about that? They're always like, do this, do that, it's tradition, it's expected, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to live my life like that, you know? I want to do my own thing.
Nah, I want to do my own
So you
thing.
quit ballet because you don't like it. I do like ballet, and I'm good at it too. But if I kept doing it, it wouldn't be for myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
I think so.
It reminds me of some of the conversations I've had with Aspen and Juliet, where they encourage me to do things for myself. Lena's in the same situation, but from a different
now that
angle.
I've said yes to doing this, I'll do my best. I've got to be the best actor in the whole performance.
That sounds more like the Lena I know. I let her practice her lines to me, sometimes saying the lines for other characters if she asks for it. Eventually, Cyrus calls everyone together to do some parts as a group. I sit on the sidelines and watch. Both Lena and Cyrus give it their all, just like Lena promised. Some of the other actors sound a little bored or unsure of themselves, but those two don't have any issues. After a while, Cyrus calls an end to the rehearsal, and we all go our separate ways until next time. Hello, game? I think that's probably a good place to end it for today. Again, like I said, I do have other stuff that I need to get to, and I'm like, yeah, I came into this episode being like, it's probably gonna be a shorter one, but that's okay. All these episodes were planned to be around like 25 minutes anyways, but some of them have gone for like 40, so I'm like, we can do a short episode today, it's fine. But with all that being said, I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one when we answer more questions for these girls and kid who won't remember us at all. I said girls, and then I looked at Armand, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot Armand was here. I just saw her at the front. I was like, yeah, the girls, what's up? And then I was like, oh my gosh, wait, no. But yeah, with all that being said, I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye.